I always had really good support growing up. So like I never really, my parents was around. You know, I had good support people. I had good positive influences in my life. So I never really ever was doubting myself as far as what I could potentially do. And I think that was very important, was that support system. However, when I got into the real world, you know what I mean, and you start being out here and start to like grow up, you know, you start to get married, you know what I mean, you start to have kids, you start doing different things. You start to, it's uncharted territory in many cases. Like me just doing me is easy. But once I become like a responsible father, now I gotta become a husband. These are all places that are brand new for me. Right. And so, you know, unfortunately my marriage ain't work. You know what I'm saying? And so in going through that particular time, that was a point of failure for me. And so I never forget, like I went for like almost like a year where like my kids really wasn't around as regularly as they were, and I was like lonely, you know what I'm saying? And like during that time, even though I had accomplished a lot, you know, I had bought a little house in DC, like, you know, we was doing some pretty good things, positive things. I was like thinking like, you know, damn, like I failed, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna like quit for a little bit. Like wasn't gonna like quit my job. I had to make money.
Right.
But like mentally, I had checked out. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, so I kind of quit on, you know, being outgoing. You know what I mean? I quit on smiling. You know what I mean? I quit on laughing. You know what I'm saying? And it was for a moment of time where I look back on that time now and I say, damn, that shit made me so much stronger. Right. But I think you have to get to a point where you feel a little helpless, a little weak, a little bit to the point of quitting, where you find out really what you really built up, what's really been put into you. You know what I mean? That's really, and also, I mean, you know, we ain't gonna make this a religious show, but that's part of what was instilled in me. And along with the work ethic, along with the support, you know, really having to lean on that and going through that process really helped me to start looking inward and not look so much outward. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they kind of, you know, the world gets bad, stuff gets tight, stuff gets funny, you know, checking account feels weird or whatever. You say, hey man, like woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. And unfortunately that puts you in that victim mode where you're not able to really like get yourself out of that. Right. Like you can actually bury yourself in that shit, right? So for me, I was just on some like, let me look at what I've done to contribute to my situation. Even though I would say I was a good husband, I would say I played my part. You know what I mean, in all my situations. So, but even within that, you can still find places where I contributed to my own situation at the time.
Absolutely.
And I think owning that, and then being able to truly own it is the only way you can actually address it. And then once you address it, you know, that's kind of how you come out. So for me, I think if I didn't get to a place where I was almost ready to quit, that was going to be like, that's like a level of understanding of myself that I probably was going to neglect, and I wouldn't be as strong as I am today.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so now when I go out here, it's like, I done been through everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it really don't matter what comes my way. It doesn't matter, money come, money go, jobs, no jobs, this, that, and the third, stuff might not happen, but I know myself, and I know what brought me out of what I was in before, and I'm gonna continue to go back to that same source because it's already been proven.
Right.
So, you know, my recommendation for anybody that feels like they about ready to quit is to look inward, find out what you potentially have contributed to the situation, and try to get a better understanding of how you yourself can actually like pull yourself up out of the situation via what you may be built with. Now, some people ain't built with that.
Right.
Some people wasn't instilled with all of that.
Right.
Some people don't have the support system. So I understand that. But even in those situations, you still have to take ownership for where you are.
Right.
And if you can do that and do it in a real way, it's gonna be tough. Like I said, mine was almost a year. You know what I mean? People could say somebody from the outside could have said I was depressed. Maybe I was. I ain't gonna see, you know, black folks got a problem going to get therapy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the end of the day, maybe I was. But what I know was I came out much happier on the other side based on what I knew I had inside of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's nothing, man. It's at no point where I wanted to quit. It was no point in my life where I wanted to quit. Whether it was instilled in me just by God, you know what I mean, by looking at other people or whatever it was, I don't know, but that's just always been me. Has it been times I should have quit though? Absolutely. Like I should have quit a bunch of times, you know. And again, to talk about sports, and you know, obviously that's my background. You know, it's the odds. The odds, they say the odds of making it is less than, you know, 1%.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially when I was playing Little League. But I always thought that I could be that less than 1% all the time. And then when I went through things, man, listen, I was in high school, 10th grade, DeMatha High School, one of the best high schools around this area.
Right.
I'm thinking that's the only way I can make it to the league, to go to, you know, prestigious high school like that. And in 10th grade, fourth quarter comes and they called me to go in the game. And as I'm running in the game, they blew the whistle and the game was over. And so I'm 15 years old. You know, how many 15-year-olds would quit and be like, man, fuck this team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't me. Like I came to the next practice even harder. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people should have quit. I ain't want to quit. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to show them that I was good enough. You know, so it's always proving, you know, somebody wrong and just having a chip on my shoulder and again, just internally, just not wanting to give up and again, just proving people wrong and just being a precedent to the people who may be on the bench that want to quit, you know what I mean, and that don't want to keep going. And I know I had in my mind, like I said, what I really wanted to do, and there was nobody that was going to stop me from doing it. And so, and there was times in the NFL, but reaching the NFL, there ain't no way I'm gonna quit at that, you know, at that level. You know what I mean? I got there. That's where I wanted to be. So, but it, you know, tough times come through everything, and
injuries.
Yeah, injuries. You know, you doubt. You know, can you come back? But I wouldn't even say I doubt it.
Okay.
Everybody else doubts it. You know, in sports, they be like, oh, is this guy gonna come back? You know, he gonna be hobbled and. You know, I'm thinking I'm gonna come back stronger. You know, I want to be the comeback player of the year. You know, that's my mentality, and that's always been my mentality. So quit was never in my, you know, in my state of mind. You know what I mean? I just always wanted to keep going. You know what I mean? And so I should have quit a bunch of times, but I knew what I had set in my mind, and obviously kids got dreams, and I wasn't about to let my dream, you know, go anywhere else. But with me, you know what I mean? And that's, I just wanted that so bad that I wasn't gonna stop until I got there. You know what I mean? So that's really why I never, you know, had that in my mind.
That's what's up. Good. Yeah, that's good.